All right, everybody can see me. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to take my ass to the floor. I did not. Don't look my best right now. I did everything I was supposed to beat my face to do it last night, but then I fell asleep. So here I am doing it. I'm gonna do 2 reviews back to back. I'm gonna do Kandi and the Old Lady Gang review. Then I'm gonna do Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 2, part 2 reunion, because that needs to be talked about as well. So let's get into it. First of all, with the Kandi and the Gang review, season 1, episode 1, which I think is a hot ass mess because they're introducing us to Old Lady Gang restaurant. Now we remember a few years back when Kandi was discussing how her and Todd were gonna open up this restaurant because now that she's married to Todd, y'all remember Mama Joyce used to talk about Todd's finances and how she didn't think that he was good enough. It was all part of her jealousy because she's used to Kandi being in her life alone and her being her support system. Then as soon as Todd came about, she was very jealous and she started basically planting all this seeds in front of every single person that were close to Kandi because she was jealous, and finally she let it go. But this Old Lady Gang restaurant is part of the franchise, in addition to Blaze that we're seeing with Kandi and Todd building their empire and building income together and growing together. So, but this restaurant was some bullshit because there's a lot of stuff that's going on that shouldn't be. The food is great. Kandi has a good business acumen. However, there's a lot of shit going on that it's just like Ghetto Express, honestly. Like the hot mess at Ghetto Express is what it is. It's just like the ratchetness is too much, okay? I understand that we black, but sometimes we also have to be professional while we're at it. So we're getting to it this first episode. Now, this episode I don't think was as eventful. They did show some commercial on what's supposed to happen as the season goes on that I'm thinking might be more entertaining than what we're seeing today, but it's still something to talk about. So we got the Old Lady Gang restaurant, our Bertha, we got Nora, we got Mama Joyce, and they're supposed to be the Old Lady Gang that we're, referring to. And you have the staff members that she employed are all basically family and friends. She has her cousin, she has, as a coworker, she has the manager who's, getting, just preparing himself for multiple sexual harassment lawsuits, hitting on people, especially Dom, what's her name? Dom Unique? Who named this people? Then you got Chandrika, the host, that is the host doing the mostest. She does not host with decor. She does not host with respect. She's like, if you give me attitude, I give you attitude. Well, bitch, don't go home. You don't need to be here working, getting paid to give somebody attitude. We know that there's a rule in customer service where the customer is always right, even though some customers need to get their ass beat, okay? Now, but if you're the person that's supposed to be serving, you're the person that's supposed to be greeting them, you are the first face that they see, the first impression that they get. Her attitude is it's like, I don't have to be here type thing. If that's the case, then you can go home and get your money elsewhere. So Chandrika has actually had several reviews where people say she has an attitude, she is a bad, she doesn't have any good professionalism. Yes, it's a black restaurant, but we don't have to act like that. You need to actually act like you were in a work environment. You don't have to go there and act like you would if you were at home or at the cookout. But she does do that. And for me, I don't like her attitude just yet. She has a good personal personality. She entertains me when she speaks, but her attitude as far as working for me, Kandi needs to stop it. Kandi's business will fail if she keeps employing her family members and her friends, because people who are too familiar with you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have to put in my best foot forward. I don't have to do the best I can because she's my cousin. She'll forgive me every time I do something stupid. And so I'm gonna sit here and act like a fool and act like I'm untouchable because I can do whatever I want because she's related to me. She's better than me, child, because I don't care if you're blood or not. If it's my business where I put my heart and sweat and my hard-earned money into, and you're gonna come up in there when I give you an opportunity to have a job, to act a fucking fool and act like you're entitled like she does, I will give you that pink slip so fast, oh my God. Or I wouldn't even have any sympathy for you. Hell, I would drag your ass by your hair out outside that restaurant, give them a nice little scene to know that your ass will not be invited back inside that building. Hell, I even put a restraining order to keep your ass away. Then we have Brandon, who's the manager. Like I said, he's the one who's basically flirting with every fucking body. Then we have Melvin, the kitchen manager, and Brandon, who's supposed to be managing, comes in and says, Melvin, do we have everything? He goes, yes, we have everything in the kitchen. There was no detail, no information to, hey, we have this, and the third, we're ready to have this. It was just like, we have everything. How the hell you know for sure if you have everything? He could just told you that we have everything because he may have messed up and didn't want you to know, and you find out later that something's missing. Like, what kind of management is this shit? But we find out that Old Lady Gang has gone through about 4 different managers. Can't nobody handle that little loudmouth, messy, dysfunctional ass family. So they're bringing in some guy named Philip who manages another restaurant. What was it called? Blaze. Manages Blaze really well, or is the director for Blaze really well. And so he's kind of strict. you know, and so they're bringing him in to kind of tighten things up, because Todd's business acumen is more so, we don't need to be friendly. This is a business, make money, be professional, da 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 da. Kandi's more like, but I want to be nice. I don't want to be mean. You know, their loyalty. They're not loyal to you if their behavior is chasing away customers and giving your ass bad fucking reviews. The previous manager had bonked out, and since then has been tanking, and your staff ain't helping your credit. Like, what the hell? Ain't nothing that's loyalty. If you're loyal to me, you be loyal to the money that you're supposed to be making for me. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. Then we have they show the old lady gang team, and then they asked in the confessional, "Are you guys a gang?" Was it Aunt Bertha or that was like, "Nah, we ain't a gang. We go to church." And I started rolling. Her little commentary, because of her age, is adorable. Okay, I like her and her personality, and through the season, from what I've seen, she's gonna be the one that I think I like as far as what she says, because she also speaks some sense. So Kandi now introduces Philip to the crew and letting them know Philip is coming off like a very, you know, strict, this is how I do things, I'm not changing my mind type personality. And of course, Chandrika, who's been getting away with murder in this damn restaurant, is already ready to start some shit. And he checked that ass right quick. Listen, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. Your role is lower than mine. You are a greeter. I am a director. So if you want to sit up here, you can just greet your ass at this damn restaurant. We're not doing that. So Chandrika, who's not used to being put in her place with her entitled ass, starts crying in the corner, and Don Juan is over there consoling her. Let them tears run. As long as they're not tears of blood and I'm not the one who caused it, because your insides are still good, you can cry all you want to. Ain't nobody ever died from crying. Nobody ever died from tears. And as far as I'm concerned, she needs to be humbled, because her attitude when it comes to hosting, when it comes to the position she's supposed to play, is too much. You're taking advantage of Kandi because you know her. No, girl, we don't need that. Or maybe you're doing this because you're on camera. Hell, maybe that's supposed to be entertaining. If this is how you want a real life child, no, nobody will hire your ass. Then we have Kandi going to visit all the aunties and talking to them about it, and the aunties did make sure that they're clear that people have too many personalities. It's too aggressive. They're too aggressive with their with how they approach the situation is unprofessional. That she herself had gone up in there, and there being some messiness and stuff that shouldn't have not occurred. This is supposed to be something that I assume the money that's coming from OLG, again, a percentage of it probably goes to them, because Blaze, I'm sure Blaze is, you know, money maybe for Blaze, baby Blaze. And Todd and Kandi get some money from it too, but it's mostly for, you know, the people who they named it after, at least is what I'm assuming. But to have family members who you have employed, who are also earning, act the way that they do here is ridiculous. Though even the aunties notice that shit. Then we got event planner Torrin coming into the scene. Torrin is everything. He gives me all the life in the world. The way that he dressed, his personality, it seems very approachable, very person who's going to be a great event planner type personality. He gets it popping, he gets it rowdy, he gets it good, and he does his job and go home. Now, Kandi said that when he was working there, Old Lady Gang, he did a good job with event planning, but he also had outside work that he was doing there that was a little bit too overwhelming for him. Maybe he felt like he was being taken advantage of. Shit, he had to leave and go do something else. But they want him to come back now that the show is going, because they need people with low personalities to keep this as interesting as possible, because this show right now is giving me a D+. Then we have the team that she said she wanted to get them together and have a reunion in a parking lot. Chandrika comes dressed with her shorts looking cute. She has a nice body. It was adorable. You got Dom Unique, who's her friend too, come up in there looking good. You got Brandon, who's looking for Dom Unique's ass so he can keep staring at, you know, getting, you know, the lawsuits ready when she sues him for sexual harassment, because he's the manager and she's the bartender. They're not supposed to be fraternizing. Then we have Torrin coming up with all pink, dressed to impress me watching the show, because he looked the fuck good. Come up in there as, you know, introducing himself again, and, you know, just basically already meeting each other. Then we have Brian, who was a former bartender before Dom Unique came. Brian, who also has a loud personality, very active, very entertaining. He said that he's working on his business, so he left, called Get Your Grub On, which is egg rolls. I want to try them egg rolls. They look like they're gonna be good. He look like getting burned. So we have that. And they're wanting him to come back to Old Lady Gang now that they're filming, because his personality is probably good for TV. So they want him back. Now, Todd made it clear that he only wants his people to bring their friends that got the same skills so they can carry their friends, not them. But Kandi's like, I want to hire them again. Well, maybe there's a reason why they're not working there anymore, because I done watched how Chandrika behaved. I didn't watch the unprofessionalism comes to her attitude. I didn't watch her entitlement, the way that she does things. Her ass be showing up late all the damn time, cussing at people in the freeway when she's over here speeding, risking people's lives, talking about, I don't know anything about Atlanta, even though I lived here for 4 fucking years ago. You know how to get you a job. Okay, so knock it off. Then we have Rashad used to be is a host in a different location. He's the overdressed to impress type dude. He's always dressed looking good. He always cares about his appearance, and he damn sure don't want Chandrika's ass to be host, because he's watching that little piercing she got on her neck, and he doesn't think that it's professional enough people coming in to a restaurant to see somebody with a piercing on their neck as their host. Why would I eat here type thing? But he's also judging her hosting skills and probably comparing it to his own. But if I'm comparing somebody's skills to my own, mine is always going to be better than theirs. That's just how it is, okay? It's just what it is. If I'm comparing my skills to you, even if I sound horrible when I'm singing, if I'm comparing my singing skills, to be honest, I'm gonna say I'm good. Even though I know I sound horrible, I'm still gonna give myself the props I need to keep my self-esteem up. Shit, I'm not gonna down myself. Rashad is the same way, because he's like, everything that Chandrika was doing was all wrong. Okay, the way that she was putting the host, she was like packing them all downstairs in the heat because they have a rush, and the rush allows, people come in and they don't have enough tables. They want people to eat, write your check, eat your food, clean up, and then they're gonna let the next few in. They're basically having people waiting outside like Cheesecake Factory. So they have a little lounge downstairs. They can go and wait, maybe drink, spend a bit more of their money, and have a little fun while they wait for their food to be ready, because the food does look good. It looks good. But even though Brian, the previous bartender, said is the hit or miss, the one who makes the egg rolls, but I saw some pictures of what they were doing. It looks like it was delicious. It didn't look like it was bad food. And with the line outside, I can't imagine it's bad food. Nobody black comes for bad food. Like, we don't come to the cookout when the cookout ain't good. So it is what it is. But Rashad is complaining because he's like, Chandrika's behavior is very unprofessional, Chandrika's like, we in the hood. We don't need to do it like that. You're in the hood, but you still can have hood professionalism shit. We don't want anybody crawling in to the restaurant trying to twerk or do something crazy when it's supposed to be. It's just, we don't want that. So we have, the power goes out. The power goes out, and I'm thinking they don't have any generators, any spares. I mean, even hospitals and other places have, fail safes, because if the power goes out, you have frozen food in the building. Are you going to throw all the food away? Like, as a restaurant, you have to have something as a backup, because you got all that food. Everything's going to go spoiled, even if you keep the fridge closed. Like, so the power goes out, and here new guy Philip is trying to figure out what to do, because people are going to be like, this is too hot. I'm eating food. It's enjoyed. If the food is hot and spicy, you're going to be sweating from the inside and out. They're going to be running out talking about, I don't want to pay for this, because you didn't just give me, bad food where sweating. You just gave me an area where I can just go home. I took a bath in my own damn sweat. So they're going to might skip out on their check. So Philip is now concerned about that problem. Meanwhile, Kandi's on her way. Mama Joyce is sitting at this, seeing how hot it is. Chandrika takes her ass downstairs to see how people are doing, because now the power goes out, and she's like, I'm not coming in there. It's too damn dark. Girl, at best case scenario, silence is golden, because you don't need to say everything that's in your head. Okay, those are customers that y'all sent down there. If you're not willing to go in there, why the hell would you send them down there? That's just what it is. Especially walking up and down them damn stairs. Like, come on now. So she goes there, and they're checking. And so they're trying to figure out what's happening. At this point, this is not the best introduction to Old Lady Gang that I've seen so far. This is how it is. It's not the first intro that I've seen. It just seems like it's a hot mess. It's too ghetto. It's too much. You got Dom Unique and her personality, and you got Brandon, over here standing her ass on camera while he's supposed to be working as a manager. Like, what kind of shit is that? Then you have Philip trying his best to get them all in line and actually have them behave like they're supposed to. Don Juan is more of a mediator, but Don Juan has other Kandi businesses that he manages, so he can't really be there to do that job as well. He's overwhelmed. Then you have all these people with some very strong characters coming in to now be customer service people. When I think that if it ends up being the day, they'll go scrapping and fighting up in that damn restaurant if they could. Like, it's just, this was a hot mess, okay? But I'm gonna keep watching this season and see how things go, because I think that the commercial that they showed and all the nonsense is gonna go through is gonna be enough, give us juice to talk about it. But this first episode, I'm gonna give it a D. D. But let's go ahead and get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in my next video. Go ahead and check it out. Bye.